Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're going over the London-based singer called Joesef and his debut album called Permanent Damage. So when it comes to this guy, it took me a minute to kind of get into him. I felt like I kind of heard of him and then I got into like some of his singles. And then just over time, I started really liking the singles and more. There seemed to be like some type of storyline to it. And I was like, I wonder what this is all about. And some of it's kind of sad, and some of or majority of it's talking about some relationship that's not going well. So I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, let's just go into it. I listened to Thinking of You come out in 2020, his cover of it, which was great. I listened to The Sun Is Up Forever, that came out in 2020 as well. And I really, really liked that one too. And it's just like felt like he was really hurting over something, over some relationship. I just didn't know what. So here we are with this album that comes out this year. And I literally took me a while to actually get through this album because it was very, very, very just heavy. And it's one of those things like if you ever been, maybe this is kind of like pointing out towards the, gay male direction, but if you ever been in a relationship in that kind of space and you're a gay male, you've definitely have been, it feels like this is mirroring and like writing every bit of of the song to or story of your life, because it felt like this when I listened to this whole album. It was just like wow, yeah, I've seen that happen, whether it's been through me or through other people that I've seen it happen through too. And I'm just like, wow, this is really, really like relatable. So, and a bit sad, and also relieving to kind of hear a a gay male actually talk about it. You know, he's bisexual, but you get what I mean. Um, it's in that space. It's just like, wow, I don't. You get this honesty from a lot of female pop stars, and we don't really get that in a male direction. They don't really break down, instead of like maybe Ed Sheeran maybe does it, but I feel like he always comes off more petty than anything else. And I feel like this one gives you like every nuance of what that could mean from leaving a relationship, or and what it means to be after it and during it, and just all the stuff that climbs up together. So I want to kind of break down some of the songs and kind of talk about it. I tell you now, the album is amazing. I really love the album. I think what I've been doing lately is just kind of reviewing albums that I like more than the albums that I didn't really care for. I try to do like, of course, I don't really know if that's going to happen when it comes to albums that come up. So majority of the albums so far have been really, really good so far. So you might see a lot of 10 out of 10s and stuff like that. But yeah, let's just get into this album. Starting off with the first song, Permanent Damage, is pretty much a intro, but he literally starts off or he ends the intro by going, I will take my time till the damage seeps in just enough to damage, or just enough to change. So he's thinking like, as I'll take my time to kind of heal from this until the damage is so familiar that it just fades away, I guess. And then it kind of goes into a lot of nuance. It goes into like, it's been it's been a little heavy lately, where he talks about like kissing in the alleyway and your missus is still dancing inside. Pretty much hooking up with hooking up with your ex when he has moved on. And it's just like, wow, I don't really think that's really healthy, but you know, it is part of the nuance of relationships. Love does you makes you and puts you in a lot of situations, especially with situations you're not used to or know how to act. So you kind of do what you do what you know, kind of thing. And I feel like that's a good lesson and theme of this album, because then you go into East End Coast, where this couple has lived together and they're breaking up. So now they're having a space where they have to they want to make the best of the last night they're going to be with each other. And I think that's really, really nice. It's pretty much just bass guitar strumming throughout the background, and it's so nice. Then we go into Coming Home, or Come Home With Me Tonight. Oh my god, the production's amazing in this. But it feels like it's a production adds like this weird kind of drunken, sad but sexy kind of feel to it, maybe even kind of stony. It feels that kind of weird space where you like, I don't know, and this is what I mean, like you just feel a little extra related to it. Like I've had this before where I just like where I broken up with a guy, and then due to the fact that we're all in the same city, so of course I'm going out to the same place that he's going out, and so all of a sudden we're seeing each other, and then depending on how early it is, sometimes people kind of just will go home with each other. Like, it's that there's still all that love still there, that attraction still there. So in the space of being drunk or high and just feeling lonely, sometimes you make stupid decisions with somebody that you probably shouldn't do. And this is exactly what this song is asking. He's feeling this vibe, this connection with his ex still, to the point where he's just like, I can't help it. I gotta ask you to come home with me one more time. Yeah, but it's a really good song. I love the honesty. Borderline, this one talks about, I'm kind of breaking down entirely what it's about. I think it's talking about the idea of him feeling like he's difficult in a relationship, and knowing that he's really doing a lot of, that maybe this either has to do with just him being a little difficult, and so he's like, I feel difficult, I feel like you're gonna leave, and I definitely understand if you are. I have been all over the place when it comes to my emotions and everything, and I wonder if it has to do with borderline disorder, personality disorder, or is it literally just saying just like, I'm towing that line of, I know I'm towing that line of being, that you still love being around me, but I know I'm not making it easy. So that total line, that I'm trying to toe that line between keeping it too much of one thing and the other, I guess. Like, I'm still figuring it out. But I really like it. Going into Didn't Know How to Love You is very nice. It has a nice little funky production. It's talking about the idea of him, just, he's been hurt a lot of times, to the point where he says, even, I'll just let this lyric tell you itself. You should have never trusted a man who's brokenhearted because I didn't know how to love you, but I didn't know how to leave. So it seems like he definitely did not know what to do in a situation where somebody did love him, but he also knew that they were toxic together. But it's something that he's like, this is one of the best things I've ever had before, so I don't really know what to do, And he's brokenhearted, so he's doing all these, like, mind games and all this, like, he's reacting in certain ways, or maybe impulsively reacting in certain ways. It's just like, I know, I just didn't really know how to love you. I didn't really know how to leave, so in that space of being dissatisfied, he reacts from the dissatisfying space. Going into Apartment 22, this one talks about just missing his ex and talking about the things that they've done together and just reminiscing on it. Same as Shower kind of goes in that space too, where it's just like he thinks about what they've been through, the good things about them, and wondering if the ex ever cared at all. Joe is the next song, which I really, really like. That one actually talks about the idea of kind of breaking down exactly why this, like, he's talking about the memories. The last two songs is like the memories of the good things about the situation, but then he goes into Joe, where it's like, okay, now we're flipping it over, and we kind of see why it didn't go so well from the ex's, from his side towards the ex. Seems like the ex had a bit of controlling issue, or some type of emotional, or he was a bit emotional and abusive, to the point where Joe feels like I'm losing what I can't replace. It's the emptiness that makes me wake. And then it goes into the chorus where he's like, Joe, don't ever leave me, because you're nothing without me. And it's just like, wow, that's that's very confident. Think that you just like, oh, I'm the best thing, I'm the only thing kind of thing. It's like, wow. But that's pretty much what it feels like. It's just like he's a bit of abusive, or very, and we're now starting to see the issues in the relationship of why he decided to leave. And I don't know who left who, because it seems like a mix between, like, you left me, but at the same time, he's walking out. So it seems like it's that part I'm not clear. But then we go into Blue Car, and we add more stuff to it, just like the toxic things they would do, the places they would go, and relying on drugs to kind of get them through in their relationship, and alcohol and stuff like that. And it just, and he can see, he's just like, he can see like this is not working out, and this is very damaging to us. And but he says this, which is very like sad and very intense, which is, remember when I said I died for you, the night, or I died for you the night the sky drained the blue, but dying would be easier than loving you, than ever loving you. And I was like, wow, wow, that must be, this is how toxic this situation is. We go into the moment, or go into a moment where it talks about the idea of him being, want to relive the moments, toxic moments and all, just for a second, just to kind of relive it again. But then we kind of go into, we start seeing that he's realizing like this is not working, and wasn't a good relationship after all. He goes to the last orders where he sees his ex, and he seems like the ex may be waiting for him to do another thing of coming home with me again. But he's like, you know what? Not today. I understand now that was toxic. I'm not doing it again. Then it goes into all good, where it seems like he's kind of learning forgiveness and understanding the situation of how I'm not over entirely, but I'm getting better. And I know that it will be all good in the end. And I don't hold anything against you. And I just want to kind of move past it. But he also nods to the next person, like paying it forward, by saying, by kind of giving you a caution tale of just so you know, some guys out here will do this to you. So just know your worth in that space, by saying like they'll let you in because you're beautiful, but then take advantage of you when you tell them no. And then he also tells you, don't forget your reasons when you pull out from all you know. Pretty much it's just like when you leave a relationship, just remember why you're leaving, because there's a lot of, just from this album, it shows that you can go right back into it, and then it just makes it worse. So just remember yourself, remember your worth, kind of thing. I completely give this album a 10 out of 10 easily. It's just a really good, like, autobiography of his life, of his like relationship, and it just feels so nice. Whether it's true or not, I really feel like it is, but it's so good. He lays his heart down on the line with this, and I really appreciate that. Let me know what you thought about this album too. If you like what's your favorite song? If you didn't like it, let me know too. If you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bells to get more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.